This entitled mother thinks she's a qualified doctor when she's nothing of the sort. Unfortunately for this guy with a skin condition, it means he's about to receive some bad and unwelcomed advice. Happy birthday if today's your birthday, and on with the revamped show. I was grocery shopping with my grandmother. The old lady was struggling with those crappy plastic bags at the vegetable aisles that you need some kind of magic powers to open. After I finished teasing her about how she was struggling, I gave her a paper bag saying, "Here, it will be easier, and it's more environmentally friendly anyway. No sea turtles will choke on it." Since I was talking to an 87-year-old woman, my voice was a bit louder than it would be in a public setting. Since she is not hard on hearing, no missy, not at all. Everyone else is just too softly spoken and doesn't know how to articulate, and TV sound systems have gone to crap over the years. No sooner I ended that sentence than I heard wailing in the vicinity of my hip. I looked down, and here was a little boy clutching his plushy sea turtle and crying as if I just killed a bunch of sea turtles myself in front of his eyes. Oh crap, I told myself, because I miraculously managed to have enough self-control to not curse in front of the kid. I already managed to traumatize a bit. My very supportive grandmother grinned at me, wished me good luck, and walked away in the hunt of chocolate cookies or another sugary item she pretended her doctor told her she can totally eat with her diabetes, and tries to sneak in the cart when I am not looking. Between the overgrown toddler that I call Mimi and the real toddler that was still crying his heart out, I decided to deal with what I thought would be easiest and crouched down to the boy's level. "Hey kid, you heard what I said?" I asked in my soft, "This is a dangerous animal that will attack and kill you if you make too loud noise or sudden movement" voice. The kid nodded his head quickly and forcefully. I lightly put my hand on his head to make him stop because I was a bit afraid he'd make himself sick. "Where's your parents?" I asked him then. It only then occurred to me that it's been about half a minute and no parents came to rescue their screaming child. The kid pointed to a woman a bit further away. She was leaning on her cart, looking at her phone. I have to admit that I rolled my eyes and internally passed judgment on this woman, while completely forgetting that I too spend my time in the store looking at my phone, since it's where there's the shopping list. Nonetheless, I took the kid's hand and walked him to the woman. She didn't notice us approaching, nor standing there. The kid had calmed down a bit, but he was still sniffling and hiccuping and making weird crying noises. "Excuse me, miss," I called in my "I'm talking to so not deaf grandma" voice. She finally looked up from her phone, looked at me in a somewhat dazed look. Then she finally noticed her kid, who was still holding my hand and clutching his sea turtle and clearly upset. She took her kid away from me, a bit forcefully. Her face changed into crazy angry, and she yelled at me, "Why are you with my son? What have you done to him?" Since I was feeling guilty, I took the yelling and tried to explain the situation. It seems that he overheard me talking about the effects of plastic bags on sea turtles. I tried to phrase it in a way where I avoided to say in front of the kid that the sea turtles are dying, in the stupid hope he had already forgotten what he heard about 2 minutes ago. Of course, the mum didn't understand, and I needed to be more explicit, so I literally spelled it out to her. I said that they CHOKE on it, because I lost my brain and sense of ridicule in the vegetable aisle apparently. Of course, the kid wasn't entirely stupid. He might not know how to spell, but he knew what we were talking about, and he didn't have an issue with immediate memory, so he went back to crying. The mum ignored it. To her, the appropriate course of action here was to scream at me some more, instead of trying to comfort her crying kid. "Why would you tell this to a child?" she asked me. I didn't tell him that. I wouldn't do something like that. I was talking to my grandmother. I haven't seen him near me. He simply overheard, and I'm sorry he overheard that. I defended myself and finally managed to work in the apology that I wanted to give since the beginning. "You shouldn't talk about such sensitive topics when there's kids around." She still screamed at me. At that point, I'm low-key impressed that her voice isn't hoarse already. "I didn't know that your kid was there," I repeated. Then I tried to go past it, because blame is good and great, but there's still an upset and confused kid there. "Look, I'm knowledgeable on the topic, and I used to work with kids. Would you agree that we can explain all of it to him together so he can understand better and be less afraid of his best friend?" "Are you calling me a bad mom?" she screeched, confused because where the heck did she pick that from what I said? I answered, no. I have to confess, in petto, I was thinking that I was starting to consider it. I mean, woman, your kid is crying in your arms, and you're more focused on me than the kid? What the heck? Then it occurred to me that it's time that I get myself away from the situation. condition. I apologize again. I'm sorry I unwillingly upset your son, I said to the woman, but I couldn't just leave without trying to reassure the kids somehow. Don't worry, your friend will be fine. If you make sure all the plastic bags your family used don't go in the water. As I started to walk away, the woman grabbed my arm. You stay here. This is not enough. I want you to buy him a toy to compensate. I foolishly agreed, thinking about the little €3 toys that they sell in the shop. They always have the little figurine to do with the sea. But no, she had something else in mind. She brought me to the toys aisle and pointed at the little electric cars. Okay, here I understood. The kid surely asked for it. She doesn't have the money and is trying to use me to get it for him. I can't afford that. She tried to start to argue, but I cut her off. Look, I left my elderly and sick grandmother alone long enough. I need to get back to her. And I walked away very quickly, as if I'd eaten really spicy chili the night before and needed to find the bathroom quickly. When I came back to my grandmother, she had Oreos and chocolate eclair in the cart. Then I had to convince her to not go find that woman and hit her with her cane. She only agreed to let it go if I let her keep the Oreos. Oreos are truly the greatest peacekeeper of all. You can definitely tell there's two different kinds of parents. The ones that see their kids crying and go like, who did this to my child? And the others that are like, what did my child do? And I'm not sure if that says something more about the types of parents there are or the types of kids there are in the world. In this case, it was definitely the parent. I have a skin condition called eczema. It is where the skin gets too dry and sometimes wells up depending on what I eat and depending on the weather. My girlfriend is fine with my skin condition as long as the rash is not too severe. In this story, me, girlfriend, entitled parent, nice kid and nice dad. It was my birthday at the time and I was hanging out with my friend and my girlfriend on a sunny day, and my parents decided to invite some friends over for the day. I see my best friend, nice dad and entitled parent. I met EP a few times, but she hated why I have eczema during a conversation. Note that my skin was very sore and very red, so I stayed inside to avoid my skin from being too hot. I told my girlfriend that I was going to stay inside and she was fine with that, and she gave me some company. When my family friends were over at my place, I was worried that EP might do something about my skin condition. Since her husband is a doctor, she tried to pour boiling hot water on my skin. So I went to see if Nice Dad was there, but then EP and Nice Kid appeared. I questioned where was Nice Dad, and EP said that Nice Dad had some last minute stuff to do. I head outside with EP and NK. NK, 13 years old, played with my little bro, 12 years old, and EK asked me why I didn't want to go out. I gave her a valid reason, but still wanted me to go outside. I went out for around 10 or 15 minutes, then went back in and got some stuff for NK. This is where things get serious. I call my girlfriend to help me with the stuff for NK and told her if she wants to help, she is welcome to. EP said that she needed a break because her arms were tired and I allowed it. I was wrong. A few minutes after I took a break because my skin started to hurt a little from stretching my arms, then EP goes downstairs into the mudroom and grabs a bottle. I thought she had gotten a bottle of water, but EP happens to grab a bottle of bleach. EP comes upstairs, opens the bottle and purposely pours the bleach on my skin where there were small openings on my skin and where it was red. I was in so much pain that I started to sob. What was that for? He's in so much pain. Oh, I thought it would make him better. What made you think pouring bleach on his skin would make him feel better? His skin is burning. At this point, me and my girlfriend were furious. My girlfriend drove me to the hospital and took me to the ER. After being checked up by the doctors, my girlfriend called my parents and called the cops too. Once my parents arrived, EP, NK, and ND arrived too. ND works at the hospital. EP told the cops that she had happened to pick up the wrong bottle and accidentally poured it on me. Me and my girlfriend told the cops everything that happened, and I said I would like to press charges. Nice Dad arrives with his co-worker and happens to see his wife cuffed up. He questioned why she was cuffed up and I told the whole story. Nice Dad gave me a prescription cream to treat my wounds, and he told my girlfriend to look after me, which was nice. I pressed charges and I have a court date in the next week or so. I hope EP serves more than a year in jail. Your body is your property. You own yourself and you don't own anybody else. That's the problem with entitled people. They think they're entitled to all your property, including your body. Pouring bleach on somebody because you think, what, it bothers you? You've got the cure? That's pretty messed up. I mean, even if theoretically it did work, it's still his choice how he wants to medicate his condition. My husband gave me money to get a better fish and everything else I needed. My mother-in-law also gave me $30 so I could get the tank I really wanted instead of the one I was settling for. I haven't had a better in over 10 years, and been wanting one for a while, so I go to my local superstore and go to the pet section. I proceed to get the round 3-gallon aquarium, $30, a heater, $10, AquaSafe, $3, to dechlorinate the tap water that smells and tastes like public pool water, a large fake plant, $6. I cut off the top half to make 2 plants. Aquarium gravel, $3, a small clay flower pot, $1, small net, $2, better pellets, $2, and the better, $7. Spent a little over $70. All this in my cart when the EP, mid-40s, and entitled kid, 13 or 14, walk up to me. Here is what happened.
Looks like someone has some money to burn.
Me, not knowing she's talking about me, walk 2 aisles over to get dog food and treats for my dog. They follow me.
Why are you wasting so much money?
Are you talking to me?
Who do you think I'm talking to? You don't need all that stuff for a better. All you need is a small candle holder.
I want what I have. It will fill the table in my living room better.
You don't need any of this stuff. I own a pet store, and no,
now looking in my cart,
the better will die if they are in more than 3 cups of water. You should put it in a small vase, $1, or candle holder, $1. You would save a lot of money. Gravel isn't good. You should get those flattened glass marbles instead, also $1. You're wasting money on this tank here, and that AquaSafe is a scam. You don't need it. You can also just use your hand. You don't need the net.
My family has had aquariums all my life. I got my first Betta when I was 6. This is my first time buying a heater and AquaSafe. I grew up in Florida with no air conditioning, so we didn't need heaters. Also, we had well water, not city water, so we didn't need AquaSafe. If I want to waste money, that's my business. You say you own a pet store, but you don't know bettas like lots of water?
In the wild, bettas live in shallow mud puddles.
Again, you say you own a pet store and think they live in mud? They live in rice paddies and streams. They can survive in puddles during a drought.
You're stupid and don't know what you're talking about.
Well, why don't you Google it? Goodbye. I then walk to the craft section to get the flower pot I wanted. She follows me, telling me how dumb I am. I ignore her. I also text my husband's cousin about the lady. Cousin is the head of security at the store. I then go to the food section of the store to get dinner. She is still following me, yelling at me. I then go to check out with EP and EK following me. I have paid for everything when EK sees my Betta, a green and blue male.
Mommy, I want that fish.
Okay, sweetie.
Looks at me.
Give me the fish. You'll just kill it anyway.
I already paid for it, so no.
My baby wants that fish. You have money to waste anyway. Buy another.
No. Entitled mum then tries to take my cart, yelling that I stole it from her and her kid. Little did she know we had been followed through the store by cousin. Entitled mum and kid were told to leave, and cousin escorted me out to my truck. EM and EK then tried to follow me home. I drove past my street and straight to the police department. EM is banging on my passenger door, while EK tried to open my bed cover and tailgate. They then see the officers and try to play the victim. No luck. I'm not sure why some people think it's their business how much they spend on things. Value is subjective. I might disagree that you spend $200 to go to a concert to see some stupid artist that I think is dumb. But hey, if you get value out of that and you've worked hard for that money, who am I to say what it is you value or not? The entitled person in this story thinks she knows better and wants to declare her brilliance to the hero of our story. But you know what? Maybe she doesn't know everything. And maybe if that person wants to spend that money on it and she's comfortable with that buying purchase, just leave her alone. Nobody really likes being told how and when they should spend their money. Financial advice is great, but usually it's only welcomed if it's asked for.
Submit your story to be read on the channel at VoiceyHereStories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.